She was born under the flat, silent skies of Iowa, but Marjorie Cameron was never meant for such a world. Her destiny was stranger. Darker. Touched by fire and steeped in symbols. From her earliest memories, she saw what others could not. Ghostly white horses drifted past her bedroom window like phantoms from another world. A well in her grandmother's garden became, in her eyes, a portal to hell. Her dreams were haunted, her nights disturbed by spectral whispers, and in the silence of small-town America, her spirit wandered far beyond. This is the story of Marjorie Cameron, visionary artist, wartime spy, occult priestess, and Babylon incarnate. 1. Childhood of Shadows. Born in 1922 in Belle Plaine, Iowa, to a family of Scottish-Irish descent, Marjorie Elizabeth Cameron grew up in a world of Depression-era hardship, religious rigidity, and small-town suffocation. But Cameron was different. From a young age, she had visions. The ghost of her dead aunt seemed to haunt her bedroom. She saw omens in the trees, spirits in the cemetery, and secret meanings in the patterns of leaves. She would draw compulsively, retreating into elaborate interior worlds that were part fairy tale, part nightmare. At 15, she became pregnant and was forced to undergo a secretive home abortion performed by her own mother. The physical pain was immense, but the psychic wound opened a rift. After that, Cameron was no longer just a girl. She had become something else. Something liminal. She began making nighttime pilgrimages to the Oak Hill Cemetery. There, under moonlight, she communed with death itself. 2. The War Machine and the Occult Bureaucracy. When World War II broke out, Cameron joined the Waves, the first female division of the US Navy. Her beauty and presence were magnetic. Tall, ethereal, and red-haired, she cut a striking figure in her uniform. She worked in Washington, D.C. as a cartographer and makeup artist for naval propaganda films, often handling blood-soaked uniforms pulled from corpses, preparing them for fictional reenactments. But stranger things stirred beneath the surface. Cameron claimed she had been used in a covert honey trap mission to seduce a suspected Nazi sympathizer. She haunted government offices, brushed shoulders with Union spies and filmmakers, and mingled with the occult underbelly of wartime D.C. One superior officer hated her with obsessive intensity. Another tried to sabotage her career, or worse, provoke her into suicide. She went AWOL to visit her injured brother. For this, she was court-martialed, but mysteriously the charges vanished. Someone somewhere had erased her military sins. A protective hand? Or a secret order with its own interests? Part 3. The Summoning at the Parsonage. In 1946, everything changed. In Pasadena, California, she was introduced to a man who would shape her myth, Jack Parsons. Rocket engineer, sorcerer, follower of Aleister Crowley, co-founder of Jet Propulsion Laboratory by day, high priest of the occult by night. Parsons was in the middle of a ritual known as the Babylon Working, an attempt to summon an elemental goddess, a cosmic feminine force who would herald a new age. When he met Cameron, he believed his magic had succeeded. She was the Scarlet Woman, the goddess incarnate. Within days, they were lovers. Their passion was violent, ecstatic, cosmic. He renamed her Candida. She called him Belarian. Their house, known as the Parsonage, became the headquarters of the Agape Lodge, where scientists, witches, mystics, and artists gathered to conduct rituals of sex magic, psychedelic visions, and thelemic invocation. Even L. Ron Hubbard, the future founder of Scientology, was there. He seduced Parsons' former lover and stole thousands from him. Parsons retaliated with an occult storm that, he claimed, dragged Hubbard's yacht back to port. The story only gets stranger. 4. Explosion and initiation. In 1952, Jack Parsons was killed in a mysterious explosion in his home lab. Some said it was an accident. Others whispered assassination. The FBI had long watched him. His work with military-grade explosives, his occult interests, his volatile relationships, all of it made him dangerous. Cameron, devastated, withdrew into ritual. She wandered the Mojave Desert, convinced she was pregnant with a moon child, a magical child conceived through their rituals. She performed daily rites to commune with angels. Her dreams were filled with hieroglyphs and burning stars. She refused to eat food touched by human hands and claimed to be guided by unseen beings. In the desert, she encountered something she never described, only saying it spoke without words and left her forever changed. She began painting compulsively, her style fusing mystical symbolism, sacred geometry, and esoteric sexual imagery. Her art, she believed, was dictated to her by spirits. 5. Wormwood star rises. Cameron lived in the margins, between dimensions, between sanity and vision. She starred in Curtis Harrington's surreal 1961 film Night Tide, playing a sea witch with haunting depth. She cast spells on celluloid, becoming a living archetype of mystery and transformation. Her life intersected with beat poets, underground filmmakers, and the emerging counterculture. Dennis Hopper, Kenneth Anger, and Bobby Beausoleil all passed through her orbit. She painted on ceilings, over doorways, on her clothes. Her home became a temple filled with sacred objects, handwritten spells, and the scent of incense. But the shadows never left. She claimed to be stalked by astral parasites. She believed the government had targeted her with psychic interference. Her journals record nightmares of being split in two by spectral forces, of encounters with non-human intelligences, and messages received through static. And yet her clarity deepened. She was forging her own path. A witch, a prophetess, an artist not of this world. 6. Legacy of Fire. Marjorie Cameron died in 1995. At her funeral, friends said it felt less like a passing than a transition. Some claim the room filled with static electricity. Others say her remaining paintings glowed. Today, her once-ignored artwork is celebrated. Her influence can be seen in everything from occult art to visionary film. She is revered by mystics, witches, and rebel artists across the world. She was not just a muse. She was the working. Not merely the Scarlet Woman, but Babylon embodied. Not the wife of a visionary, but a visionary in her own right. Her life was a ritual, her art a talisman. And through it all, she remained untouched by the ordinary. A conduit for something strange, something vast. She fell to earth, not to be tamed, but to ignite. A scarlet flame, a wormwood star. A message encrypted in myth. If this story moved you, if Cameron's fire reached through the screen, like this video, if you believe art can be magic, subscribe to join us on the occult path through hidden history. Share with someone drawn to the shadows, and tell us in the comments, was she a lost prophet or the next evolution of the human soul? Because the age of mystics never ended. It just went underground. And it's waiting. Marjorie Cameron didn't just walk between worlds. She opened the door and invited them in. A star fallen to earth to burn away illusion. But what if she wasn't the only one? What if there are others, scattered through time, sending signals in the dark? Through art, through ritual, through madness and magic. If you've heard her call, if the symbols in your dreams are waking up, if you've ever felt you weren't born into the right world, then this is your channel. Subscribe and follow us deeper into the forgotten, the forbidden, and the flaming edge of reality. Because some stories don't end. They just wait for the right eyes to open.